Welcome to the one-a-day painting challenge. I'm Yvette, and in today's video we're going to paint this awesome painting. I'm going to paint it live and show you step by step everything I do and talk about all the tips and tricks of how I paint this painting. So I encourage you to paint along with me. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. That way it'll make it easier for you to find the videos in the future.
We always keep the curtains down because what's on the other side isn't that flattering. We have a perfect view into our neighbor's living room. The first thing that we're going to do is take out the storm windows. Now it's a cheaper alternative to paint on the storm windows than it is to paint on the windows themselves because the storm windows are easily replaceable. This house was built in 1906 and these windows were custom made and original to the house. Because of that, there's a lot of little intricate parts to the windows and we didn't want to really take it all apart. And so we're making it easier on ourselves just by opening the top and then lowering the storm windows. The second step is that we're going to go ahead and clean the windows really well, the front and the back, and make sure that all the dust on the sides is gone. This will help so that when air moves and over time the little pieces of hair and dirt won't get stuck onto the paint, and plus it's just a nice thing to do to make sure you have a clean house. I'm using a wide 2-inch square brush with long bristles. I recommend not adding any water to your paint so that way your paint is really thick and not fluid. I am starting with the sky going back and forth in horizontal stripes. Some little areas are going to be dark blue and others will be light depending on how thick I'm laying on the paint. Don't you just love my outfit? It's my dress smock. Whenever I have the inspiration to paint, instead of having to go and get all serious and change my outfit, I just put on my dress and I'm ready to go. Once the paint is all the way dry, go ahead and add the clouds using a sponge and dabbing on the white color. Make sure that your clouds are sporadic and random and that your bottom of your clouds is flat and straight. This will help the appearance to look more natural. I am now adding little birds. I'm making little tiny M's. I'm making big M's, medium M's, and tiny M's. A mommy, a daddy, and a baby. I'm painting them with black with a liner's brush, and then I'm going back over and adding white to the top parts of the M. This will make the bird appear to be a seagull. it's time to add the ocean. I've decided to keep my horizon line where the wood is. I'm going back and forth horizontal over and over again with the colors blue, turquoise, and dark green. Every so often I add a little bit of white to show the reflection of the light on the water. I am being very quick and not trying to overthink it, and just let it be what it is. Notice that I'm going back and forth between each window, and I'm only making horizontal lines. This is going to add to the illusion of the waves. There are going to be dark waves, light waves. The lighter parts are going to appear as though the water is turning over, and the darker parts will be the deeper bottom parts of the waves. I'm now changing my brush to a 1-inch. The first brush I used was a 2-inch. The reason why I'm doing that is because now I'm painting the sand. I'm painting a dark brown first, and then going over it with a lighter brown. By doing this, it'll appear as though the sand has footprints in it and the little valleys and peaks. I am going over it many times repeatedly over and over again, back and forth between the windows. And every once in a while, I like to stand back from the painting and look at it from a distance to see it at different angles. This will help me in finding all the little boo-boos that I could fix. And I also want to do this while the paint is still wet. If at any time you see boo-boos and you don't like it, go back to the next step. For here, I decided I'm not really liking how I saw the water. So I'm going back and I'm touching it up and I'm fixing it and I'm working with it. The water is going to take you the most amount of time to have the biggest difference in tones and shades. This whole project took 4 hours from start to finish. I had a really hard time trying to make the water real. Now for the fun part, let's add a wave. I'm getting a bunch of white on my palette and using a sponge, and with the sponge I am pressing it onto the window, making sure that all my marks are sporadic and very different. Here's how it looks like at 10 a.m. in the morning with the sun shining. We went ahead and changed the accessories and the decorations just because, to be different. We got some Halloween stuff out and thought it would be silly. We have a pelican, another painting over there, and we added some seashells. So this has become a shadow box. Notice how the light has changed. The paint is not allowing all the light to pass, but it's still allowing some light. The water looks pretty cool, but the sad part is the wave down there that I put so much time and effort just doesn't really seem to show up. But in the evening, wow, doesn't that look a million times better? This was filmed at around 9 p.m., so it's very dark outside. And the waves are right there, beautiful. I love them. This is definitely an improvement from before. Now our neighbors can't see into our dining room, and we can't see into their living room. All in all, this project to paint it costed about $5 worth of paint. And there's our little birdies. Daddy, Mama, and my baby. After? Before. Thanks for watching. Push the purple flower to subscribe and you can watch all kinds of awesome videos.